So we're all in one booking system for event pros. We really been around since 2016, and most of our customers do photo booth, and then we have had more and more mobile bartenders sign up. So I'm Judd. Matt's with me here. We're the co-founders of Check Cherry, and kind of some of our philosophy is basically your business grows when it's faster. Your business grows faster when it's easy for clients to work with you. So that includes online booking and other things, signing proposals, all that stuff. And another thing that we often think about is that if you automate the busy work, you can basically spend more time with the people being more personal, right? So like nobody's getting value out of you handcrafting an invoice, for example, or going back and forth a bunch about pricing, that type of thing. So if you can make all that easy, then you'll have more time to do those personal touches. And I think in services, it really, really matters a lot. Check Cherry does a lot. We're not going to cover everything. Again, we want to make this more interactive and share, but there's a lot that we do. Everything from expense tracking, questionnaires, email, text automation. There's integrations with QuickBooks. You can have checklists that will automatically kind of build out a list of things you should bring to the event with the package, that type of thing. And something you should also know about Check Cherry is we have great customer service. Chat with us from within your account anytime you have questions. What's on tap is stuff like packages. This is all going to be kind of more mobile bartender specific, some of the features we see mobile bartenders use, and then we want feedback from you guys. And packages, add-ons, travel fees, sales tax, all that stuff. Appointments, scheduling, etc. So we've never run a mobile bar business. We want your feedback. So we love it. We've been getting feedback from customers for years, and it's helped make Check Cherry better. So Matt's going to do most of the driving here from here on out in our demo account. So I guess I'll stop sharing. Yeah. And again, if you have questions, feel free to pop it in the chat. I'll read them out during, or raise your hand. We don't mind being interrupted, but yeah, this is our faux ever events.
Yeah, thanks, Judd. So I can kind of kick it off. So once you get into your account, you're going to have kind of, just a basic overview screen, and, it's going to tell you to kind of start setting up some packages, pick your color, things like that. But I think we want to kind of start with just seeing like, what is the customer experience going to look like? If your customers are booking you online, what does that look like? Because I think that helps to share what you're working toward. So as Judd mentioned, we do have other services, so if you do other things in addition to mobile bar, there's a good chance that we can support that as well. But today we're going to be kind of looking more at the mobile bar side of things. And there's a lot of different ways you can kind of organize your packages. So, we'll take a look at some of the options later, but basically what we like to do with Check Cherry is kind of guide the customer through that buying process, almost as if they were sitting in front of you. You might start with, okay, how many guests are you going to have? How many bartenders are you looking for? Things like that. So based on, however you choose to organize things, you can kind of guide them through that. And you can set up different packages. Those can include different things. And you can charge, you might charge extra for hourly, if they need extra hours. And you might charge extra if they have, depending on the number of guests they have as well. So as they go through, they'll pick their details. We'll collect their name, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say worth mentioning, like after that step, we save a lead, basically. So somebody's been pre-qualified on price. And so if they don't finish the booking process, you'll get a lead with their information.
Exactly. And so, yep, and you can take that and send it to them as a proposal or something like that. So,
Yeah.
But we'll collect, if you need the number of guests, we can collect that, number of hours, things like that. And as they go through, that total is going to be live updated right there. So they can see, what the total is going to be. And you can also have all kinds of different add-ons, tons of different options there. We're going to skip that for now. And then based on the venue, because we'll collect the venue up front, we can calculate things like sales tax, travel fees, that sort of thing. And uh-oh, it's out of our travel area. So let's go ahead and...
Oh, we're already in the settings.
So we're going to remove the travel limit, but and then after that, they'll be on the confirmation page. Depending on, we do support things like monthly payments. We support, different payment plans you can set up. This is probably too many payment plans to offer, but you can set up, different payment alternatives for them to take. And they can pay that deposit. You can have them, they can pay the full amount. They can kind of split their payment over several events, make further payments with Autopay. So lots of different options. Let's assume they're just going to do the deposit. And then the other thing that you'll notice is since I'm logged in as staff, it's not going to have me sign. The reason being, we don't want you signing on behalf of your customer. We want to collect that signature the first time they log in. And then they can make that payment via credit card. So CheckCherry supports, all the normal credit card. In the U.S. that's going to be Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, and then we also support ACH as well. ACH transactions are a little bit cheaper, but they're also a little bit slower. So you can enable those. You can choose to pass on credit card fees if you want.
Apple Pay and Google Pay will show up too if the customer
Yeah.
has that in their
Yep.
account. And that's really awesome for if they're on their phone. It's really great, because they just enter their card super easy.
Absolutely. And then you can also do what we call like manual payment methods. So a lot of our customers deal a lot with, say, schools or certain types of, corporate events where, they're going to send you a check in the mail, or maybe you deal with a lot of, customers that want to pay via Zelle or things like that. You can also set up those more manual payment methods. And then once you receive them, then you're going to go ahead and record those manually. So once they do that, they can, you'll have a booking, you'll get an email, they'll get an email confirmation, and you're good to go. So, so that's kind of the general flow for somebody booking online. Obviously, you can kind of customize things to suit what you need, and then depending on, I don't know that we're going to go into too much, but if you need to collect more details after the booking, things like questionnaires and
Yeah.
make further payments, invoicing, all that type of stuff. You've got a full portal that they can log into anytime and answer a lot of questions or get information, or that you can send links to as well. So
Let's look at those package settings, Matt, and specifically the unit price stuff, because it's really common that we see you guys want to basically charge more based on the guest count. And so that's basically, hey, I need another person here because there's so many people, we don't want to have a big line. Or I'm offering, I think there's an upsell in there that's like premium plasticware or something like that. And I need to basically charge per guest. And so CheckCherry will basically automatically calculate those things for you. So I think, yeah, go over to manage packages and look at one of
a couple ways you can get there. If once you're logged in, you're going to see this getting started checklist, and this is going to kind of walk you through the main things. So you can, click the packages there, go to manage packages, and go from there. So if we pick, once you sign up, you're probably going to see a bunch of defaults within your account. So if we go into one of these, you can kind of come through, start editing. If you want to change the name, change the description, things like that, you can. For now, we're going to look at the pricing and scheduling. And so coming down to the pricing section, this is probably the main area worth going into a little bit more. So we've got a few fields here. You'll see your starting rate. And so that's going to be, basically the minimum that you're going to charge. So say with this example, we're at, $600 starting rate. Below that, we've got this setting to charge for extra hours. If you turn that on, then how that's going to work is if you go beyond the 4 hours here, it's going to charge $150 per hour. And below that, we've got these charge by unit settings. And so these are useful if you want to charge per guest. So what you can do is say, set up different pricing tiers. So say you want to charge, $5 a guest. What you can do is set the minimum number, the maximum number, and the price. So we're going to say $5 a guest.
Let that drop down too to change the name of it. We're at unit.
Yeah. So once you change that, it's going to change it to guests instead of units. And so basically how this is going to work is, for the minimum, if it's between 0 and 100, it's going to be $5 per guest. You could also have additional tiers if you need to. You could have a lower price if it's 101 to 200 or something like that. This is going to get added to the starting rate. So I think that's a common thing that can be confusing is, you set a starting rate and then you have this price per guest. Reason being, presumably you don't want to be out there for, $5 for, for one guest or something. So this starting rate is going to get added to the guest count. Sometimes people don't want that. You can always set that starting rate to 0, and then you're just going to be working with the price per guest.
Yeah, if anybody has questions, feel free to
Yeah.
chat, raise your hand, whatever it may be. Feel free to interact. But I think that's an important feature, and it basically allows you to have hourly pricing and per guest pricing and package pricing automatically calculated. I think that's pretty awesome.
And the main thing I would say too is if you get confused on setting up your pricing or how to structure your packages or things like that, definitely chat with us. We can give help. It also helps if, sometimes, if you've already got something, if you've got a pricing sheet or something, feel free to, include that in the chat too, and we can,
Yeah.
we can
Hey, we got a
run through
couple
it.
of chats here. So
Yeah.
Dallas says, I'm
Yep.
looking for a feature that allows me to add bartender based on guest count. And so I think you just want to have one package and basically check Cherry know, hey, if it's between this range or that range, we need to basically add a bartender. So I would assume that's more cost too. Is that right, Dallas? And feel free to, yeah. Right now, there is the only way to do it is kind of how this demo account's set up, where you basically have a package group that is based on the count right now. I think it would be cool if we did that though. It makes sense. It would be easier in many ways, and but yeah. And then Shayla says, can you set it up if over 75 guests add money? And I don't know that we have a flex pricing rule, but how much money would you want to add? And is this the same idea? Hey, I need to charge extra. Yeah, exactly. So Matt, go back to the online booking side. Here's how
Mhm.
you could do it right now. Basically, that's the service. These are package groups, right? And so your packages, your starting rate and your per hour pricing can account for 1, 2, 3, and 4 plus bartenders. And on the 4 plus bartenders, I mean, it's probably rare, but you could even send them to a lead form if you wanted to do a custom consultation or something like that. But there's no mechanism to say, yes, after this, now we have other calculations where it comes, not yet. Maybe we could add that. We'd have to look at that. Uh,
Mhm.
One thing I like about how it is now is it's really clear from the online booking side. So when a customer comes, it's really this, like, it's very clear to me why, oh, it's 150 that, guess that's, I need 2 bartenders. Like, it's pretty clear what's going on. And so, that's the current solution. Here's Andrew. Typically, after a certain amount of hours, people order less after 45 hours, for example. How does the system scale, descale this? That's not something we offer. I would think, that's interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. And Andrew, do you sell the alcohol as well in your state, or are you just a dry hire? I'd be kind of curious on that. I love the feedback. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely let us know. Yeah,
Don't
dry
sell
hire.
alcohol, dry hire. Yeah. And so, I mean, you're talking about basically garnishes and napkins and all that stuff. I would just try to bake it in. I don't know. Make it easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could also organize by instead of having them, you could say, on this step where we've got based on guest counts, you could do it based on hour counts,
Yeah.
less than 4 hours, 4 to 8 hours, etc. Have a few of those to choose from.
Yeah.
That's one idea, but yeah, feel free to, if you got like a price list or something you're kind of looking to do, feel free to shoot it over. I think, we're certainly open to kind of making some changes too.
Yep. Awesome. For example, my quotes for 200 plus people seem too high. I know they order less. Yeah. And I think, for some of those things, Check Cherry also has a proposal system.
Hmm.
So you can send those out and you can override the pricing on the packages, the add-ons. I would add a discount, frankly. You could also on the package settings, if they have, per hour is, above what's included as the lower rate. I mean, that would be another option. Uh, yeah. And then how much less do you think it is? I'm kind of curious in terms of dollar amount. We're talking like $100, $500, $1,000.
One other thing you can do, I don't know if it would quite fit into that, but you can set discounts or surcharges if the total is within a certain range. So you could say, hey, if we're in that 1,000 to 1,500 range, I want to give a $100 discount or something. So that's a thing too. That's under manage flex pricing. There's some different rules like that.
Yeah, the flex pricing. We'll come back to that. But so Rachel says you can show our packages if I want. Matt, if you go to let me get their link on the online booking. We won't log into your account or anything like that. And Rachel, feel free to mute your so Rachel and Samantha have been using CheckCherry for a while. I invited some of you guys. I want to make sure we had some mobile bartenders to get feedback. Matt, I'm going to paste this in the chat.
Yeah, I think I've got the yeah.
Oh,
cool. You guys do snacks and stuff too.
Snacks and stacks.
That's new.
Awesome. So yeah, so you guys have some mobile bartending, and then
same idea.
Yeah. And then a few different packages.
In each of the guest count part, then there's tiers within that of like your standard, which is 2 signature cocktails, and premium, all in, and then beer and wine, and just bartending. So it's all done by guest count, though.
Yeah, that's the package groups. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can have different tiers too. So like right now, there's just one tier in here, like 150 to 250 is $650 each. You could have another tier, like say 251 to 500, and have a lower per guest for that if that was not for you guys, but for some of the other people that were looking to kind of discount it a little at higher rates.
But you mean if it went up to the guest count? Like, yeah, we have that as custom. So if it went up above that, we custom do it, because it really depends on the venue for us, because some of them we know them and we don't need 4 bartenders or whatever. We know, and 3 can handle that. So.
And Rachel, on that package, you can send them right to one of your lead forms instead of a package at $0, and then they just become a lead, basically a custom package lead, and you get an email. That's another option. Yeah. You can basically set that up. It's a package setting under advanced. I mean, maybe we're yeah.
New to that.
And so love it. And so how's it been going with CheckCherry? It's, you guys got it pretty smooth.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. It's changed our lives, changed our businesses. I can't say enough great things about it.
Awesome. I love that. Yeah. And any feature requests or anything like that? I mean, how can we make it better for mobile bartenders? Any thoughts on that?
Do we need anything?
I think we're good. Anytime we've had a question, we come to you guys and help us out, and nothing hasn't been there yet. So we were doing everything manually before, and it was just,
to put it mildly, a shit show.
Andrew, I think that Andrew asked if you'd moved from a different CRM, but there's your answer. No, they were doing it manual. Andrew, are you using something right now or manual? Dubsado, yeah, cool. Yep. And then Lenisha's here. Hey, Lenisha, how are you? Any ways we can make CheckCherry better?
Not at the moment. Cool. I always come up with something new every time I'm in there. So.
And Dallas, I know Dallas has a lot of good feedback. So Dallas, if you want to unmute yourself and chat with us, we'd love to hear it and get feedback. Can't hear you right now, Dallas. I don't know what the maybe your headphones or something. I'll let you know when we can hear you. Yeah, we need feedback. I mean, this is it's an exciting segment for us, the mobile bartenders. We think we can really help you guys out, and we've had really great feedback so far. And CheckCherry is far from perfect in many ways, and we know there's other areas and ways that we can make it better for certain industries. And I think the mobile bartender stuff's really really been something where I think it's really helped people simplify the quoting process in a lot of ways. So again, you can hop right into proposals too. Maybe Matt, you can show that while Dallas figures out the audio.
That's one of my most favorite features that y'all have added on, the multiple proposal option, because we were sending them all out, individually. And this is so amazing to be able to give them different options.
Yeah, and so you would use a proposal. I mean, obviously, if you basically if you talk to somebody or you find a way to that what they want or have an idea, or somebody who's looking to buy, you can send a proposal with just an offer. Another thing you can do is you can add an alternate. We call them alternatives, I think, where basically they can have multiple options within the proposal and accept one. And no, we've gotten really good feedback. That was a tough feature for us, actually. It was a long, outstanding feature request. It made a lot of sense. And anything that's going to help our customers sell more, just, we love that stuff. Yeah, there they are. And maybe you can show them what it looks like on the,
Yeah, so typically the way the proposal works, that's going to be something that like you send to a specific person. So typically you're going to hit that send email or send SMS button. They'll click a link in their email and then come to, in this case, a page like this, where there's a couple of different options for them to choose from. In both cases, I guess, same imagery, but typically it's going to have the different package name, the different image, things like that. And different, they can kind of see the different prices. And then once they choose it, this is more of, if you don't include multiple offers, if you just have a single kind of thing you're sending them, this is what they'll see. Just all the details of their event. They can even, add-ons, things, if you allow them to apply discount codes, if you do any kind of like proposal discounts, you can do that as well. And then they'll go through that same thing, make that, once they click accept, they'll be able to sign and pay as well. So just makes it real easy. You have kind of a single person. Proposals are great for that. So.
I got some more comments here. So Tina says, I honestly want a user-friendly software. Currently, I'm operating everything Square, but this looks like it would be an amazing tool. Take a ton of time off my hands and shoulders. Yep, Tina, chances are good. So chat with us as you need help. We're here to help you get it set up. We can do welcome calls, package setup calls, that type of thing. Andrew said, is there a brief bullet point sheet comparing CheckCherry with other platforms? So the answer is no. I think we have a HoneyBook versus CheckCherry on our website, really for SEO purposes than anything else. Andrew, what I would say is I found the bulleted checklist not to be so helpful at times because two systems can offer contracts, checkbox on both sides, but how they're implemented and how it works really matters. And it matters, for a business. And I would say that goes for all features, basically. And so, I think what I would do is I would take a look. Maybe I'd pick two and just really dig in and evaluate kind of where you're at. CheckCherry was built specifically for event service providers. Online booking was something that was there from day one. And it's been a unique or an interesting design constraint because everything has to work with online booking, basically. All customers don't offer online booking, but just the way the system works. It really, like a byproduct of it is it's really easy to create proposals and like stuff just automatically calculates. I mean, that's pretty awesome. And so on. So the short answer, yeah, no, we don't. Long answer is it's not good to have bulleted checklists. And in other words, do the free trial. Also, customer service really matters. I think it's often an oversight when people are evaluating software like CheckCherry. So that's another thing. I've got a couple more, but first, Dallas, did you get the audio figured out there, or you want to hop in?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Hey, all right.
Hey, Dallas, thanks for coming.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for doing this. Appreciate you guys. No, the one thing I was saying was the first thing that I mentioned was being able to say I have X amount of guests and I want to add more staff to that. And I see the tiered system that you guys are using there. I feel like it makes it busy. It makes it too much for the customer to look at and choose from. So if they're able to just input, hey, I have this many guests, and the system just know, hey, they need this number of bartenders, whether it's 75 guests per bartender or 100 or whatever
Yeah, whatever it may
the
be.
client may choose.
Yep. And then you would charge hourly, I would assume, on that.
Yes. I mean, either hourly or based on the total event. So, for example, we charge $350 for our base $400 package with one bartender. And if I want to add a second bartender, if I get up over 100 guests, I want to add a second bartender, I want to charge automatically another $150.
Yep.
And then to take it the next step further, okay, what if we go beyond that 4 hours? Okay, yes, I still want to charge hourly for that second bartender too.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah. Have you tried the way that it's done right now? I'm just kind of curious because I want you to have a solution like right now, and gotten feedback.
Right now, what we do is we just manually look at it.
Yeah.
We look at it and we say, hey, this is over 100 guests, so we're going to add a second bartender. And that works just fine for us because we're looking at everything. We're touching everything anyways.
Yeah, no, I get that. And Rachel, have you had feedback? Because Rachel's doing the tiered system. We just saw that. Have you guys had feedback from clients getting confused on that by any chance? We can't.
No, we have not had anyone be confused about the way we do it at all.
Dallas, I think just consider trying it. I mean, that's what I would encourage you to do because it's unlikely we get it out anytime like super soon within the next 6 months, year, unless Matt has different. Because probably the setup process will be.
It's not a hey, I need this right here right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but
once in a while, if we're doing beer and wine only, and it's 85 people, which for us would be 2 bartenders. If it's beer and wine only, 1 bartender can do that. So I will tell them, hey, you know what?
Wrinkle.
And so I'll actually just lower the head count on it. You know what I mean? So sometimes there's a little tiny bit of tweaking, but that's more, I'm trying to accommodate the customer. I mean, I could go strictly by the book and book 2 people and there's enough money to pay 2 people. But I'm just that way. I'm like, I'm not going to gouge you for another bartender. And so I'll manually manipulate it. But nobody ever says anything about a way. They totally understand it.
And I think it's very clear, like how many guests do I have? What package do I want? And then I book. And so it flows and it makes sense. I will say, because you have to make like the first, I don't know what they're called, like the first set of packages based off of guest count, and then you have to make the second set for each like package type. You got to do it over and over and over again.
Right. It's a little cumbersome, yeah.
Yes, but once it's done, and like we had to test them all to make sure that they worked, but once that's done, like you can just rest easy that it's all happening and it's all going to work just fine. So that's the part, like just prepare to spend an entire night making those packages, but once you're done, you're done.
And you could duplicate, but Dallas, I mean, all that being said, I totally get it. And it would be easier and just like quick. Here's what I need. Give me a quote, that type of thing. So I've got some more comments.
Yes, and I mean, absolutely. I see that system working really well. It just appears cluttered in my eyes.
Yeah, no, I get that. AJ Bartending says, can you show me the customer page where they see their event proposal, etc.? Last time I was checking out the system, there didn't seem to be enough options to customize what I wanted to see or how I wanted the page to look. So I'd love specifics. Tell me more. What were you looking to see? We might even just be able to tell you. I guess you can impersonate the customer. I don't know if you can do that or not, but because you're probably logged in as.
I showed it a minute ago. I think when he was looking at proposals or whatever.
Oh, right here.
Yeah. And then he was kind of showing the homepage, and it had like the Google Map kind of thing for the venue. I don't want that. I want to get rid of that. And like, do I want to change like package details? Do I want to change that text, or do I want to just change the way things are on the screen? So I wasn't sure if y'all thought about not necessarily making the whole thing customizable, but at least making a couple different themes that we can choose from to.
Yep, you're in luck because stuff's coming on this front. This is also common feedback. And so generally what happens, right? We're just trying to like manage our priorities over here. And so yes, more proposal stuff will be coming. We think you'll like it. I don't know exactly where it'll land and if it'll, exactly solve what you're looking for. But it's an important page on Check Cherry. We also have people want to add more stuff. They use it kind of almost like a pitch deck of sorts, where they basically want to include more information about their company, why they're awesome, reviews. It's almost like they're pitching somebody who's never heard of them. And check cherry proposals are really good at closing the sale, right? Like they already know who you are. They're waiting on the offer. You send it. It's so easy to sign and pay and get them booked, that type of thing. But
does the system offer any kind of messaging back and forth between you and the customer?
Yeah. So there's an automated messages section that you can kick off emails, and there's tons of different triggers, when it comes to booking created, like the scheduled date of the booking. So when the event's happening, payment due. You can do it on proposals, proposal expiration. We've got videos on this. We did a webinar on this as well. I can grab the link and put it in here. It's in depth, and I think you'll like it. And
it's all email based though.
You can do text message as well. Yep.
It's not like on their customer portal, they can see like the messages that they've sent back and forth, kind of like a chat.
It'll actually go to their inbox. No, I don't think people want to log into Check Cherry except to like make payments and answer questionnaires and get done. They don't want to do the messaging. So the messaging the customer can basically respond to the email from their email client, and you can too. And the default way Check Cherry is set up, it all gets logged with the booking, which can be really handy for admin purposes and so on.
Okay, so the responses and stuff come into the booking the system itself as well.
Yep, and then they get like processed and then kicked back out to everybody. Yeah, Check Cherry kind of sits.
Right now, I'm just kind of have to create email folders for each event, and then
drag
and drop emails into them, and it's in the end.
You just go to the message tab, everything will be there. Yep.
Yeah, kind of our goal on the messaging is, say an automated message goes out, you want to remind somebody a few days before the event, just let them know that you'll be there, whatever. That'll go out from Check Cherry to them. They'll reply. We'll log it and forward it along to you. So you have that whole history, but you can still be on your phone, like, whatever email client you like, whatever your customer wants to use, they can still just kind of reply to those messages back and forth, and you'll have that history. So.
Okay. I have one last question. Have y'all thought about or implementing any kind of like staffing side of it to where like I can have my bartenders log in and see what events are available to pick up, what gigs are
available? It's already there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can set up your staff. You can let them request events, claim events. You can just kind of assign them yourself, and basically how that works. You see who's available, who's free that day. They can set their availability. They can log in, kind of see everything within their account. And then I think with the iOS or the Android app, that's a great thing for staff, because then they don't need to remember to log in or anything. They can just go there, see all the details. And then of course email automation around that as well. So you can have reminders kind of going out to your staff. Hey, just a reminder, you're gonna have an event tomorrow, things like that. So and then you can also have lost my train of thought on that. Yeah. So
the staff request, I would say maybe.
Yeah. So they can staff can request like events that aren't booked yet as well. So
let me I'll send a link to the webinar here in the chat for you, because we did one on that recently too. So yeah. A
few other things I think that are helpful over on the packages or the add-ons in a few different places. We recently have added some different lead time features. So, if you say you've got some equipment that's coming, that you need to custom order or things like that.
Oh yeah.
The lead time on that package or on your add-on or things like that. So, so that can be kind of nice for, things that are a little further out. And then similarly on your add-ons, you can do that as well. So, if you go into one of your add-ons, you can come in, you can say, hey, this, I need 2 weeks lead time on that, or things like that. There's also, if you need to, with the add-ons, there's some different pricing and packaging options there as well. Obviously you can have an add-on for a flat rate, hey, this scrapbook thing costs $200, and they can add that. But you can also do things like multiply that by the hourly price. So if it's, maybe it's an extra, if you want them to book that extra bartender themselves, you can set your hourly rate, $150 an hour, and then based on the event, the length of the event, they'll be able to book a bartender, book multiple, things like that. And then you can also multiply that by the unit count as well. So if you have an add-on that basically applies per guest, it's for whatever reason it increases the price, $1 per guest, you can do that as well. So, like I say, just chat with this if it's confusing, but that's an option as well too. So.
I just dropped a couple of links into the chat for the webinars, AJ. So feel free to take a look at those. More comments here. Andrew says makes sense. I like the visuals of CheckCherry so far. I've never been excited about Dubsado. So yeah, give it a shot. I mean, we love feedback, so just chat with us. Sam's on the front lines most of the time. We see all the feedback. We're really hands-on entrepreneurs. So, let us know. Is there a feature for gratuity or service charge that automatically applies when you add XYZ? So I'm not sure what that means. On the make and payment page, there is an option to leave a tip. In terms of automatically charging gratuity, you can use the flex pricing feature. I'll let you take it over, Matt.
Yeah, so with flex pricing, you could do something like, if you wanted to charge, a 10% surcharge or something, you can do that. You would basically say, 10% service fee, whatever you want to, however you want to do it. And then you can, if you need to, limit that to just certain packages, just certain add-ons, things like that. So that's definitely an option. And then the other thing that you can do is decide okay, does this 10% surcharge apply to, just this one add-on that I'm adding? Or is it something that, somebody chooses this package, this applies to the full booking. So there's a few options there. And then not really related to that, but within the flex pricing, there's lots of other rules. You can do things like surge pricing, for New Year's if you need to charge extra, last minute bookings,
book me at the end of the month, get a 10% discount. You can also do discounts.
Yeah, based on the venue location. So we have travel fees, but sometimes people want to do things like, oh, if I've got to go into, the city of Chicago, it's a pain. I have a special charge for that, or certain postal codes or things like that. So
yeah,
lots of different options in the you'll find that under manage and then flex pricing. You can also even give discounts to repeat customers. If you've got somebody that you always give a 10% discount to, rather than using a discount code, you could just have it apply automatically as well. So different options there. And then similarly, you can give people more of a discount code thing, which is kind of the difference is a discount code is something they're going to type in. So if you've got, maybe there's a venue you partner with, or you have, other people you work with, you can give them codes and then you can kind of track that, or, have a discount get applied automatically as well.
I've got more stuff in the chat. So Jeremy says, does the system track when they have viewed the proposal and allow automated follow-ups for those that have not viewed it, those that have viewed it but haven't accepted it, etc.? So you can see if somebody has viewed the proposal. Yes. I don't think you can automate based on whether they viewed it or not. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could see sending a text or something if they haven't. I don't know that sending a second email if somebody hasn't clicked it the first time will matter, or a third or whatever, but it's an interesting. Do we have it based on viewed? I don't think so.
Yeah, so I would say most common, so with the proposals, we don't have it based on viewed, but you can do it based on, you can set something like, hey, 3 days after they book, or, after that.
After you created it, yeah.
And you can also do based on the proposal expiration date. So if you choose to make your proposals expire, you say, hey, this proposal is good for a week. That's a good way to kind of set a series of emails and give them a little bit of urgency too. It's like, oh, I've only got 2 days to accept this proposal. And then if they're not going to do it, then you kind of know that, hey, it expired, let's move on. And you can even send a follow-up after, like, hey, your proposal expired, if you still want to do it, let us know, to kind of leave the door open. So lots of options on that. And then similar with your leads. So say you have people filling out contact forms, or, you collect some details manually, you can have different automated emails going out for them as well. And there's different conditions you can set up, lots of different options, send a message if the date's available or not, or, different emails for wedding versus corporate. So
yeah. Again, there's some links in there with the webinars, and chat with us if you ever have questions. Tell us what you want to do and we can help you do it. Dallas has got, what if I have an add-on item such as a smoke gun that I have a limited quantity of? Is there a way to reserve equipment? So yeah, there is.
Yeah. So under business settings and then availability, what you can do is set, this is like, so this would be like, hey, I've got, whatever this is, one pirate costume or something.
Well, there's a premium plasticware down there.
Yeah. There we go. I've got, 10 of these. And so what that means is like 10 at a time. It's not really going to be an inventory tracking thing. So like, it's not, that would like track, hey, I've got 100 of them total and I'm consuming them. This would be more of like, hey, I can use 10 of the, I've got 3 of these pieces of equipment that I can have out at the same time. And yeah, you can do that.
Yep.
And then you can also you can even link different things together. So if you've got something that's part of certain packages, part of certain add-ons, you can use availability rules to kind of link those together.
Stephanie says, does the inventory become unavailable when a proposal is issued or once the client officially books? And so the short answer is both.
Yeah, with your proposals, what you can do, you can set them to what we call date reserved or date open. And how that works is date open, it's kind of first come, first serve. Say you've got 2 proposals out, both of them, use the same thing. Date open means that whoever accepts it first gets it. Date reserved means that you're holding it for them. And so that might prevent you from booking somebody else online. If you've got one unit of whatever, and it's going to, prevent somebody from booking. Once you've reserved that for them, that's going to prevent anybody else from booking it that day. So
a common
you prefer, yeah.
A common workflow is to use, you talk to somebody, you're like, hey, I'll hold the date, and then you basically put an expiration on it. So I'll hold it for 3 days or whatever. You have to make the decision, that type of thing, and then it'll just automatically free up, so to speak.
Yeah, the proposal expirations I think are good with the date reserved. If you're not going to use those, then date open is.
Another thing that we didn't cover, which is a kind of a newish feature to CheckJury, is where you basically can have a package automatically include add-ons. So I'm glad I remembered that.
Yeah. So within your packages, certain, if that includes certain add-ons, you can include that in the package. And so how that works is, when they choose that, it's automatically going to add, a certain quantity. And you can control like, is this something that they should be able to remove? Generally that's probably no. And then you can decide, oh, is that, included at no charge, or is that something that they still have to pay for? We just always include it. And this can help with some of those just kind of edge case pricing things too. If you've got a certain thing that, you've got, whatever the gun you mentioned, if that comes with certain packages, it can be helpful to include that with the package so that, to make sure the inventory, can keep track of that automatically for you.
Okay, Lanisha's got one. Lanisha, again, feel free to unmute yourself. She says, I cannot find the way to raise my hand. But she basically is like, hey, I know I can sign contracts. Could there also be a way for us to put contracts in place for employees or our staff to e-sign when they start using a business account? For example, NDAs, NCAs, all that stuff. It's an interesting idea. I mean, I think it makes sense. What I've learned is that there tends to be just like one signature for when you hire somebody, and it happens usually outside of CheckJury. I guess historically, it's not a common feature request. I get it. I think that it makes sense that, we would add something like that. And it's good feedback. I mean, I think, yeah. Be cool. Yeah.
Okay, my other question was, I had to go back and log into my account just to see what my requests were because I couldn't remember. Was there any other thought on the alcohol calculator being added?
We haven't done it, and tell me how you would want to use it, I guess. Is that on a marketing side? Remind me. You want to like, hey, on the marketing side, you use it, or is it like after somebody books or while they're booking, or?
It would be more so after someone books.
How much alcohol they need to purchase.
And right. So, hey, here's your shopping list, basically.
Yes.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, we thought about it. It seems to make sense. And so I guess we have to figure that one out.
I can tell you where you can go to hijack it.
Love it.
Mobile Bev Pros on Facebook.
Theirs works good. Yeah.
Theirs is amazing. I mean, to me, I think it's a little bit heavy, but it will even give you ice and garnish counts and things like that.
The full bar.
Yeah, I mean, it's really amazing, but I just don't log into Facebook very much, and so I hate to have to go over there and do that. It would be amazing to have that in our one platform.
Yep, I like it. Yeah, I guess like we just kind of don't know exactly. So we'll probably, I guess, the good news is you guys can all give us feedback, so I like that.
Well, there's your feedback. There it is.
Yeah. Well, once it's done, here, Andrew's like, it's like, hey, Jeremy's like, it's too much alcohol. They're all too much alcohol online, and maybe there'd be some settings or something where, you can hone it in. Or even
I mean, there's even tells you like it's one drink for average drinkers, one drink per person per hour.
Yeah.
And then so you just calculate that into which you can do it with your head, but it's just a lot of work.
Stephanie wanted to know this. What did you recommend for the alcohol calculator?
Oh, that was on the mobile Bev Pros calculator that we were. Is she asking what Rachel?
Yeah. What did she say? She said, was it Mobile Bev Pros?
Yeah, Mobile Bev Pros.
Yeah.
I'll send you.
Yeah, on Facebook. It's the group.
Oh, it's on Facebook.
Yeah, it's on Facebook in a group.
I thought I recognized you, Rachel.
Nixie Chicks is ours.
Yes, ma'am.
There's the website, I believe. So, drop a link in there. They do training and stuff. Looks cool.
Yeah, they do a lot.
Love that. And
I think it makes a lot of sense. So
Jeremy created a spreadsheet that does it for him. Yeah, most part based on guest count, hours, service, wine, beer, liquor. Yep, I like it. Yeah, I mean, the cool thing about a spreadsheet is, obviously you can manipulate it to, your preferences and tweak it and all that stuff. What sucks is you got to set it up and manage it and all that stuff. So it's, there's no solutions, just trade-offs.
But so there's a question about, can you download reports to Excel to do profit and loss? And so if you go to sales reporting, we have a lot of different things in there. We do have a profit and loss as well. You can also, and if you're recording expenses, things like that, that'll be easy. You can also get it, booking details, your leads, payment history, all kinds of different stuff. And, lots of filter options, lots of columns you can enable, disable, and then you can always download that as well. So basically, like pretty much any data that we have, we try to make it easy to download, easy to get at. We don't want to kind of hold your data hostage or anything like that. So real easy to get that. And then you can also customize it and save it to come back to. So those saved reports are nice for like, if there's just certain things, you like to look at, on a weekly basis or something, you can do that. And you can even have those emailed to you as well. So, every Monday you could get emailed a spreadsheet of, your last week events or, next week events or, whatever you need on that sort of thing. So lots of reporting options. Outstanding balance, that's a good one for kind of seeing who owes you money, if there's anything that hasn't been paid. Most frequently booked. I like this one, like kind of, say you're at the end of the year and want to just get an idea for, how many of each package did we book, what add-ons moved, what didn't, how much revenue did they generate, things like that. So those are super helpful.
We can also import data if you're coming from another system. We do that as well. So that's an option. Happy to put past bookings, future bookings in the system. Just chat with us to start the process. But yeah. Any other questions out there? Or anything we missed, Matt?
So looking at kind of your list you sent over. So appointments is another one we didn't talk
about. Yeah.
But I think that's an important one. So with CheckShare, you can have basically, let's see here. I don't think I have
that account doesn't have it. It's not set up.
But you can set up basically appointments. So kind of like a light Calendly type of feature where you can send out a link, they can book you, all that type of stuff. So
let me see if I can enable that real quick.
So so with appointments, you can set up and
So it's like Calendly basically. So
Yeah.
a cocktail, consultation would be one example. Maybe even in the online booking engine, or I guess in that Rachel, in your example where you have the 250 plus, you could send them to a lead form, collect their information, and then in that email, after they fill it out, send them a link to book a time for a consultation. That would be another kind of use case of that. Yeah, that would probably be a pretty smooth workflow. If you want to talk to them, kind of in scheduling.
Oh, I love to talk to them.
Yeah. So that would be, and then chat with me, and I can help you set that up. But that would probably be a pretty smooth workflow, because then you basically get your lead, they get an email, they pick a time, and then you got your consultation set up. And if they don't, you can send them, another note to them. Jeremy says, can you use your own domain instead of having the CheckCherry domain? No, not at the moment. It's got to be on a CheckCherry subdomain. It'd be nice to offer that. I think just the way that, kind of how it works with DDoS and all kinds of other stuff, it just makes it a lot easier for us to manage the platform. And what we've learned is that clients, the event hosts, people don't look at URLs. I don't think it's damaged the conversion rates or anything of that nature at all on CheckCherry. Yeah. But yeah. And Dallas says he'd love to use a Gmail server for email. There's some limitations on the Gmail stuff. So we have some customers that send out more emails, that type of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's possible. Makes sense that we do that. You might end up in the world of folders with clients and that type of thing again. I'm not sure that we'd be able to attach all the emails again with the booking. I'm not sure how that would work, but yeah. And then Shayla says, can you limit what the staff sees or what the staff, or what? Yeah, absolutely. So, and if you have something specific you want to limit, just let us know and we can tell you if it's possible or not. But
in general, with your staff, we kind of have it broken into what we call extended permission. So if you kind of, you want them to see things like pricing and make changes and all that, you can give them extended. Or otherwise, if they're just going to be showing up the day of and they just need the details, just leave that unchecked and they won't have access to all that. And then similarly, if you've got certain staff that need to be able to see all of your events, help you schedule, help you do different things, you might give them access to see all bookings, but otherwise staff are just going to see what they've been assigned to.
And
by default pretty limited, but if
a really cool feature is you can go to a staff account and impersonate them. So after you change the settings, you can log in as they are and kind of see how they experience it. Yeah. Is it not there? It's funny.
Well, we don't let you log in as another admin for us.
Oh, you're already in as an admin, yeah.
So
there you go.
Log in as Sam here. I can do that.
Yeah. You can't impersonate another
admin because we don't want, we want that kind of that trail of who did what on things like that. So.
Yeah. A lot of great questions and feedback. I love it. I'm happy with how this went, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Jeremy's got more. Is there a task option where you can create assigned tasks to staff? In my situation, I'm basically the business and sales manager. My partner is the event manager. So once they book, she takes over. So being able to assign tasks or to schedule a call with the customer, assign staffing, etc.
Yeah. So every we've got what we call checklists. And that one could, I think there's a webinar, or there's certainly a support video for that too, that has a little more detail, but basically, every booking can have different checklists to do things like that. And these can be checked off. You can also get more of a global one to see everything.
You just didn't want to get a checklist to you. And, oh, sorry.
And then you can also automate that as well. So if you have certain things that you always want to, anytime a new booking comes in, you want to create something, you can do that as well. So, and those can, you asked about assigning, and those can be assigned.
Yeah. If it's just two, you might not need to, because everything, once it's booked, it'll be a confirmed booking status, and she'll just be able to see them all, and manage them. So I don't even know, but you can generate checklists. Checklists can be equipment to bring to the event. They can be post-event follow-up things, pre-event stuff. Yep. And there's a video on that too. And again, chat with us. Anybody chat with us. Anytime you have questions. The chat support's great. It's super quick, easy. We send screenshots and links, all that stuff. Yeah. Love it. Well, thanks for all the good feedback, questions, all that stuff. This was Check Cherry from Mobile Bartenders. Rachel and Samantha are having fun over there. We ended on a good note. Yeah, thanks for coming, everybody. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the chat and around, and we'll do another webinar in a couple weeks. So,
all right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.